Welcome to our community of grant writers, nonprofits, and 501c3s. Today we're talking about a cover letter. I'm going to tell you about the 6 elements, when you should use it, when you shouldn't use it, give you some great tips and a complete sample along the way, and you'll be able to download a free template. So let's go. So what exactly is a cover letter for your proposal? Well, it's a short formal letter that's submitted along with your grant application. It introduces your organization, summarizes your request, and highlights why your proposal deserves the funding. And I want you to think of it like a handshake and a smile, and it sets the entire tone before they even read your proposal. And we're going to go over the 6 elements of a cover letter. 1, the header. 2, the funding source. 3, your opening paragraph. 4, your middle paragraph. 5, your closing paragraph. And 6, a signature and contact information. Now, in your header, make sure that your organization's contact information looks professional. Make yourself a little digital letterhead at the top. You can even create a little small logo for your organization that is professional looking. And for your funder's name, when you're addressing them, make sure that you're addressing someone in the organization. Usually there'll be a contact person's name, and if not, address it to the funding committee. And your sample of number 1 and 2, we're using a fictitious organization, the ABC Food Project. You can see it's clearly lined up and very professional looking. Number 3, your opening paragraph. You're going to state your request very clearly, how much you are requesting and what for. And here's your example of number 3. You're stating it on behalf of the Food Project of Topeka, Kansas. You're asking for the $20,000. Why do you need it? To support the mission to provide food to homeless youth. And what will they do with the money? The funding will directly support our program goals of feeding 150 children. And number 4, the middle paragraph, you're going to briefly introduce your organization and mission, the problem you are addressing, and why your project is a good fit for the funder's priority. So example of number 4, as you can see, this is where you're talking about the capability of your organization, how long you've been doing this, and you're explaining the need and the urgency of the problem that you're addressing. But you're also saying we're capable of handling this type of program. And if you want to go into more detail about how to do this in your proposal, I actually have a video that talks about the agency capability statement and the problem statement. And number 5, your closing program wraps up the letter. You're thanking them. You offer to provide more information if they need it, and you include your contact information. And of course, it's always signed by the executive director or someone with authority, like a member of your board of directors or the director of the program for which you're requesting the funding. So examples of 5 and 6, which are your closing paragraphs and your signature, you talk about what the grant is going to cover, supplies, volunteers, monthly outreach activities, why you believe your mission strongly aligns with the mission of the funder, and then you wrap it up by saying, we welcome the opportunity to speak with you further. Here's our contact information, and thank you for your time and consideration. Now, when do you use a cover letter? 1, when the funder requests one. Some funders specifically ask for cover letters in their application guidelines. Others don't. 2, when you're submitting a paper or email application. A cover letter helps personalize and introduces your proposal. 3, when you want to make a strong first impression. It's your chance to briefly connect with the mission of the funder's priority. And 4, when you're applying for an unsolicited proposal. So if the funder didn't ask for the proposal, but you're reaching out anyway, and you want to explain to them why you're writing to them. Now, don't use a cover letter when the funder prohibits it or uses an online portal. Always follow their guidelines exactly. The application is entirely form-based. In that instance, that's where they're asking you for specific forms. And if the cover letter hasn't been requested, then you wouldn't use it. Now, if every section is filled out through fields like a budget narrative, and it asks for your need and why your program's being requested, you can take some elements of the samples I showed you and you can copy and paste them into the request when you're doing an online application. 5 tips. As you can see, guys, from what I've shown you earlier, it's not just writing it, but making sure how, when, and why you write it, and mistakes that you don't want to make. So here's some tips. Always check the grant maker's request for a proposal or their guidelines first. Always keep an introductory letter 1 page. If you've written one that's 2 or 3 pages, you're now getting into the elements of writing the full proposal. Use a professional tone, but don't be robotic. You can insert some humanism into it. Personalize it to the funder's mission. Look at their mission carefully, and then you personalize the cover letter to what they say their mission is. And always proofread it more than once. And I suggest if you have someone who can proofread it, that you should have them proofread it for you. And how to get started, guys? Hey, just jump right in, subscribe to my channel, look at some of the other grant writers for beginning series, or if you just want to refresh your grant writing skills, I've got plenty of videos here on YouTube. And if you really want to fast track your skills, take some of my detailed classes. So here's the link for all of you who want the sample cover letter and a fill-in template. Just click on the link. All you have to do is just sign in and you will get your free item. There's no obligations, no cost. So take the first step, guys. Just start writing. Believe in yourself. Your community is counting on it, and I believe in you too. This is W.C. Ballard checking out.